don't really know how I feel about it. Is it enough to make me put this book down? Absolutely not. The plot showed up for work too. The plot clocked in and it did what it needed to do. Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if this is your first time here, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. We are getting into another weekly reading vlog. I have been in a bit of a reading slump for about the past 2 weeks. As you can see, books are still not, they have not found a home. So let's just get into like what I'm still currently reading. And on my Kindle, I am still reading the last book of the Filthy Rich Vampire series. I am anxious to get to the end of this. I have got to find time to read it when it's not in bed because I consistently fall asleep when I do that, and I'm never going to get to the end of it if I keep trying to read this in bed. Not that it's boring, it's just that I have been very tired. So I think I'm like 36% in. The last time I read this, I was on the plane. So there's that. I don't remember. I know what's going on, but I don't remember where I'm at. The next book that I'm still reading on is Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and I did stop at about the 30% mark in here. And again, another book that I was really enjoying before I put it down. Yeah, I really liked where the story was going. I like the relationship that is growing between these two, and I can't wait to see where we end up and how we get to our happily ever after, which I'm hoping we get in this book. I'm just gonna leave it there. Because I am in a reading slump, typically what I do to cure that is I pick up smut. And it's easier to like shut my brain off and just like read words and enjoy the ride and not really have to think. My friend Kathleen and I decided to do a buddy read together because not only will smut help me cure my reading slump, but also reading it with somebody else and having somebody to instantly talk about what you're reading is like chef's kiss, okay? So I started reading Minx, and I will say this is not pure smut. There is a plot in this book, and I'm actually really happy about it. But not only am I reading this book, I am annotating this book, and I'm having the best time. There's artwork in here. There's a playlist, and not only is there a playlist, but there are like little music symbols within the text that if you listen to that song, it like mimics what is going on in the scene. This book follows Ramesses and Blake. Blake is a high-end escort in Manhattan, and Ramesses is a investor. I think that's pretty much the best way to describe it. Blake has a set of rules where she only has 3 clients at a time, and it's very much so like, I don't spend the night, I don't date clients, like, you know, keeping her boundaries up. And Ramesses, he is very much like wants to see the girl on the other side of those boundaries, and so like he kind of like pushes her out of her comfort zone and like tries to find like what brings her pleasure and like what makes her happy. And yeah, this book is only 295 pages. I'm pretty sure I'm like 30% into this already. I just started it yesterday or day before yesterday. I think I started it Saturday night. But yeah, I am having a grand old time. Miss Sophie Lark, girl. When I have an update, I will be sure to give it to you all, and I hope this vlog is not too long. Okay, first update of the vlog. I think when I started yesterday, I was at maybe like 30% in Minx, and I'm now at 41%. Just when I thought like you know, this book was doing something that I hadn't seen before, that quickly changes. And yeah, so again, no spoilers here. I was just in complete and utter jaw drop shock with what did actually happen, and don't really know how I feel about it. Is it enough to make me put this book down? Absolutely not. Blake, our female main character, is extremely headstrong, and like Ramses is, of course, like our typical alpha hole. You know, he has more money than he will ever need, and so he feels like because of that he can buy whatever he wants, and he does. And he does try to buy her, and she fully recognizes, like, dude, you're trying to buy me and I'm not for sale. Like, I can see him falling first, but something about this story is making me feel like I'm not going to get the ending that I expect. And I don't know what it is that's making me feel that way. I still feel, you know, just as giddy about this read. It is single-handedly curing my reading slump. When I'm not reading it, I'm thinking about it. I am going to leave this update here. Good morning, friends. It's a new day. I have like 5 minutes before I need to clock in for work, and I thought I would give a little update for my reading that I'm trying to get accomplished this week. I did stay up a little bit later last night to read, and that's the first time that I have done that in a while, and I'm sure I look very tired this morning, but I'm glad that I did, because I am starting to feel the want to read again, which feels fantastic. And not like I'm like reading toward the deadline, like I'm reading to enjoy. Love that for me. Now this pretty baby, I just want to say that this book has far exceeded my expectations. I am halfway through. You see my little tabbies in there, and I am having the best time. Has there been some things that have made me be like, what? Excuse me? Absolutely. It's just been so much more than I expected. We are now at the point where we are like working through past traumas. We're reading romance, so I'm crossing my fingers for a happily ever after. And I'm gonna say, obviously, a happily ever after is gonna happen, but watching these two people fall for each other has been very special. Like, reading this last night, I was tearing up. I was tearing up. Like, that does not happen to me when I'm reading. It just doesn't. And like, for this book to be the one that does it, it's just chef kiss. Sophie Lark, babes, you know what you're doing. I'm not seeing fault anywhere. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the plot. I enjoy the writing. I enjoy the romance, the spice. And I feel like this is a book that, you know, in maybe 3 years, I would pick up and reread. Give myself some distance. Like, it's really, and I'm at 50%. So there's still time for us to tumble down the hill, because I don't know where we're going, but I'm having a fantastic time. And I'm hoping that I finish it within the next like couple of days. So we shall see. Whenever I have another update, I will be sure to give it to you. Until then, happy reading. Friends, it's been 2 days since I've updated you. Reading has been done. I have finished Minx. I do not have it sitting here with me, but I gave that book 5 stars. 5 stars, no notes. It is not for everybody, but let me tell you something. It was for me, okay? The characters, Blake and Ramses, I love them both. They were both chaotic and unhinged and perfectly lovable in the best way. And, you know, in different ways. Like, Blake gave me what I needed as far as like being a strong female main character, almost to the point of her own detriment. I love that for her. Ramses, he gave me what I needed as far as being like a pure alpha hole, but like really falling first, down bad for this girl, and just watching them interact and the banter between them two was just chef's kiss, okay? The plot, I mean, it was there. I went into this book thinking that I was going to get straight up smut. And while, don't get me wrong, the smut is most certainly present. But the plot showed up for work too. The plot clocked in and it did what it needed to do. You learn so much about these characters. You fall for these characters because of like what they expose about themselves and like how they open up to each other. The writing was good. The banter that she wrote in this book was fantastic, and just how the story unfolded, the side characters, just chef's kiss. I think as a romance book, it does exactly what you expect romance to do. It was very spicy. I think I would give it like probably 4 chili peppers, and I will probably reread it at some point in the future, but I got everything that I needed to give. It left nothing to desire. Even things that, like, while I was reading it, I was like, I would like to know more about this. I got it, okay? And that was what I needed. It is the Saturday before Mother's Day. I'm honestly not feeling great at all. My husband took our youngest out for a lunch date and to go shopping and to give mommy some time at home to relax. And I am so grateful. So I wanted to just hop on here and give this update before I got too far away from the ending of Minx. And yeah, I am either going to read or take a nap. I'm leaning more to nap. So I'll be back with an update whenever I have one. Bye. So it is the same day, and I had a tiny burst of energy, and I have been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my shelves, because the books that I brought back from ApollyCon have still been sitting on my floor. And today I was like, I need to get serious and start thinking about like how I'm going to reorganize everything. I have a stack behind me of books that I plan to get rid of. I am currently putting all of my series together, because the way that I had my shelves organized was I had this little small shelf was my red books, and then beside that I had like books. As I finished them, I would just stack them back up beside my red shelf. And then my taller shelves, my book cart and my book tree held the books that I have not read yet. I want to put all of my series together. My husband is very much so like, all your heavier books, aka the hardbacks, need to go on the bottom of the shelves. Well, I cannot have that if I want my series to be together. So I pulled all of my standalone hardbacks, and I think I'm gonna put them all on this shelf. And then I did separate the hardbacks that are like full series or part of a series, and so I will integrate them on these shelves. But this is stressing me out, which is why I did not turn on my camera when I initially started doing this. I'm on the struggle bus, but I thought that I would just like show the process that I'm in right now. So I'm going to keep at it. Maybe you will see B-roll footage of me doing this or not. Friends, doing a quick check-in. I am actually on my way to dinner with a girlfriend, and I thought this would probably be the perfect time to hop on and give a little reading update. I have actually been focusing more on Delilah Green. I am almost at 50% with that. I have about 170 pages left. I'm having a good time. There for a minute, I start to get a little bit worried, but what I read last night quickly like banished that thought. The thing that I'm really loving about this book is the comparison of who Delilah was as a younger person and kind of like what she went through, and like what she's going through like right now as an adult. And like to see that when she was younger, she was on the outskirts of this friend group, and now I don't want to say she's become the center of it, but she's being like kind of welcomed in a way, because everybody is on the same page to try to get a particular character out of the picture. So that's been fun to like witness. I guess in a way, like maybe she's gonna find out that like her stepsister actually did care about her, just didn't really know how to show it like as a teenager. I say all this to say that I'm really enjoying Delilah Green. I do foresee me finishing that book fairly quickly. I'm hoping to get a good amount of it read tonight after dinner. And yeah, I'm just very happy with where that book is going. Glad that I did not give up. And I'm also very happy that I already have book 2 in the series. And so yeah, if I'm like really feeling it, I can move on. Oh, this weekend, the Clear Your Shit challenge, like halfway point challenge, is like, I think the prompts are announced this weekend. So like you can get all your books and stuff ready and prepared for that challenge to start in June. It's just the month of June. My birthday is next month, and I already am planning to take my unhaul pile to McKay's to possibly trade for other books or to get money. So that's all for now. When I have another update, I will give that to y'all. Talk to you soon. Friends, it has been a couple of days since my last update, but I have an update that I'm very excited about, and I thought I'd hop on and give it before I started my work day. And that is, I finished Delilah Green Doesn't Care last night. I wrecked my sleep schedule and said no, we're getting through the last 130 pages of this book, and I'm so glad that I did. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I had a good time. I laughed, I cried, not like sobbing. It was a super cute story. I love the town. I loved all the characters. I'm right now trying to decide whether or not I'm going to keep this or if I'm going to unhaul it. I do plan to continue the series, and I own Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail, I believe is the next one. And so yes, I plan to continue, but I just don't know if this is something that I would reach for to read again. I'm really trying to be conscious about whether or not to keep or get rid of books, but that's a whole another conversation for a different video. And let's just talk about Delilah Green. So as far as the characters go, I really enjoyed Delilah and Claire. I enjoyed them together. Separately, I liked Delilah. I feel like I understood where she was coming from, like as far as like what she went through as a child and how that has affected her as an adult. I found myself feeling very like sad for her and wanting more for her, and like at no point in this book did I feel like Delilah was in the wrong. I don't want to give away like too much, but I felt like her actions and her reservations were very justified, just again because of her past. Now, I'm not going to say that Delilah doesn't need therapy, because she does. I really felt for Delilah. Now, Claire, I liked her. I thought she was super sweet. I thought she was an amazing friend, and I love her and Delilah together. The only place that Claire lost me is the scenes between her and her baby daddy, and I just have some opinions that I did not agree with as far as like how she was acting. Now, don't get me wrong, I do understand her. I understood where she was coming from. I just thought that there was a better way to go about it. But outside of that, I really enjoyed her. I enjoyed how the whole co-parenting aspect of the story like wrapped up towards the end. The plot, it was fantastic. I loved what brought Delilah to Bright Falls and all the shenanigans that the girls get into. And I don't know, I liked the way like the friendships were portrayed. I liked the way like it really showed how different you are when you're younger as a kid and you don't think about things like adults do, and you don't really know how to handle like tough, stressful, mature situations as a child. And I feel like this book portrayed that very well. The amount of times that like I laughed out loud at, you know, the banter, the cuteness, like there was so much given in this story. Overall, I did enjoy this book and I'm glad I read it, and I am excited to continue the series and find out more about the girls. I know that it's Astrid Parker and then Iris Kelly, and I wonder if that's going to be all. Lastly, I have to finish this book, y'all. I am fighting for my life. When I finished that book last night, I was like, how many books have I read in the month of May? 2. I have finished 2. And 2 of the books that I'm reading are books that rolled over from April. So my goal as of right now is to finish Filthy Rich Vampires. I will give a review of the entire series once I finish that. And I'm hoping to do it this weekend, so that way I could possibly fit in another book this month. We shall see. I'm not really gonna like stress myself out about that. I think that's pretty much it. So I'll have an update probably once I finish this, because I am 50% in. There's not really much I can talk about in it. I will be back when I have my update on this, and if anything else changes between now and me ending this book. Friends, I did not think we were gonna make it to the end of this video, but alas, we are here. We have made it. I did finish Filthy Rich Vampires book 4 last night, and I carried this book for almost 2 months, which is wild. And I just want to say here a little disclaimer that it was not the book, it was me. So like trying to get back into the story was very hard for me, but when I made myself like sit down and read and get re-engaged in the story, I did, and we finished. So let's just talk a little bit about the world of Filthy Rich Vampires. I think that I would recommend this. I do recommend reading it on KU first and then deciding whether or not you want to like own them. The characters, I actually really liked both characters. I loved Thea. I thought that she was a nice blend of like naive but also like take no-ish, and really did a good job of like standing up for herself throughout every book, even though she was left in the dark quite a bit, and even though a lot of things were thrown at her. Julian, I liked his character. Like, we love like a broody, morally gray man. I will say in the beginning I was a little frustrated with him. I just feel like things could have been talked about a little bit more, but outside of that I really grew to love him. Book 3 and 4, he really shined in my opinion. Geneva Lee really sat down and was like, I'm going to write this series and I'm going to give the main characters no breaks, no comfort whatsoever. Like from book 1 to literally the last 10 pages of book 4, these characters are put through it. You'll have like a moment where you're like, oh, finally, they're at peace with each other. The surroundings have quieted down, and literally you turn the page and you're just slapped with another issue, drama, whatever, what have you. So I mean, like, this is a very fast-paced series. I would recommend binging this series if you have the time. I wouldn't call these books short. I think they might, the first book is probably like in the high 300s, and I think the last book maybe was hit 500. I don't know, but I would suggest trying to read these like back to back, just because the pacing is so fast. The spice is there. I don't think like it's not introduced until like book 2, maybe. Like you see a lot of them like circling each other in book 1, and then they kind of fall head first into each other in book 2. Now there is a spin-off series, I think, that is already out. I need to check.
I did the research. It comes out June 25th.
And it is Filthy Rich Fae, and I was very intrigued by the Fae that we were introduced to in this last book. So yeah, I do plan on continuing the series. When? I don't know. I do not know. I think that's all. So I'm going to end this video here. If you made it to the end of this video, leave the little like vampire emoji for Filthy Rich Vampires. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you as a part of this book community. And if you are enjoying the content that I am providing here, please make sure that you share so that your friends and followers and what have you can also find me. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.